Hi there, this is Dave from VideoEffectsUniverse.com, and today's tutorial is in 3D Studio Max 9 where I'm going to show you how to create a laser beam just like this. Now that was from an old video that I never actually got to finish, but as you can see it looks a lot better if you create your laser in Max rather than going into After Effects or something like that, because you have to do a lot of rotoscoping, and in Max it looks a lot better, plus you also get the shadows and all that sort of thing. And this doesn't have to be a laser beam, this also could be a lightsaber from Star Wars. Select a cylinder, drag it into the top viewport here, don't make it too big, click it first to make the size of it, and then release, and you can also make the width of it as well, as you can see. Click it a second time, and there you go, you've created your cylinder. If we just move it over here so we can see what we're dealing with. Okay, looking good. Right, very simple to do. Click on M for materials, and what you need to do is find an empty sphere that hasn't been used. I'm going to choose this one here. Click on the diffuse colour box and click white. Okay, close. Set the self-illumination to 100 and apply it to the cylinder. Right, now this is important, this bit. Now that we've got our colour selected for the cylinder, and we've also got the cylinder highlighted, click and hold this button here, this 0 button, and you should see get a whole pad come up, looks like a telephone keypad, and select a number. Do not select 0, select anything but 0. So I'm going to go for number 1. Now what this is to assign lens effects to certain objects. Now obviously if this was set to 0, this would set the effects to every object in the scene, but because we only want it to be selected to the laser beam here, we select 1. So any object in the scene that has this, as you can see all these others have got 0, but this has a 1. So if all these were selected as 1, then they'd all have the same effect applied to it. Okay, so now we've got our number 1 effect applied to the cylinder. This is how we create the laser. Go up to rendering, effects, lens effects. Okay, and we want to add a glow. Right, okay. Now what we do here for this is make sure that that's highlighted, go down to the bottom here, go to the options. Now as you can see we have the object ID and the material ID, and it's set to 1. So if you highlight these, what this basically is doing is selecting this here as the object that you're going to apply the effect to. See, so it's 1 here and it's 1 here. Now obviously if you selected 2 or 3, then you'd have to change these to 2 or 3 as well, but because it's set at 1, we'll keep it at 1. Right, change the radial colour to whatever colour you want your laser beam to be, and like I say, I'm going to choose green for this. Okay, right. Now here comes the important bit where you have to mess around with these settings to get the glow to look right. Okay, so if I just need to move this down a bit so that I've got the laser beam in view. Let's move it along a bit as well. Okay, right. Update your effect to see a preview of what it looks like. As you can see, it's set a quite interesting glow around the actual cylinder. It doesn't look very good, so what we need to do is mess around with the settings. Now I'm going to bring the glow size down, and I'm going to bring the intensity down a bit and see what that does to it. As you can see, it's changed it dramatically. Right, okay, what I'm going to do is change this to a little bit more of a, there we go, a bit more of a lime green. Okay, right, you can also bring this down as well and update the effect. It's starting to look quite good now, as you can see. I'll bring the intensity right up to about 170, update it again. As you can see, it's starting to get very, very lighter now. Okay, let's bring this down a bit more. Okay, let's try bringing that down a bit more as well. Let's update the effect. As you can see, it's starting to look quite good now. You know, it's starting to look more really effective. Okay, let's have another look. here. Like I say, just keep messing around with this until you get the kind of glow that you're after. You know, is quite a bit picky when you mess around with it. That looks quite good. I think I'll use that one there. Right, okay. Now we have our laser beam selected, we need to animate it. Okay, so if I just right click and unhide all, I've actually got a scene already set up here. If I just move this back, as you can see there's an alien craft here and it moves through the camera. But the problem is our laser beam is way too big, so we need to scale it down. Okay, so there we go. Right, let's bring it up into the viewport here, and then what we want to try and do is line it up with the ship. So I'd say about there. Okay, so you can use all three viewports here. Don't use your perspective or your camera viewport, because you get undesired results with that. So let's just set it up so that it's right in front of the ship. Okay, let's move it this way a bit more, so there we go. It looks like it's in the dead center there. Okay, now we want to turn it, place it right there, so it's right on the dead center. So let me just do a preview of that and see what it looks like. That's looking quite good. Right, now the problem is that your laser beam is on the screen at all times. Okay, so what we're going to try and do in a minute is keyframe the opacity in so it appears just at this scene here. So what I'm going to do is set a key, and then I'm going to go to around about here and make sure that your laser beam moves faster than your ship. Okay, so let's just move this right forward, so it's about there. I'd say that looks quite good. Okay, set the key. What we want to do is click on this, and because this is set at like an easy ease, I'm going to select this keyframe here and click here to make it one long movement. Okay, I can't really see these bits here, so I'm just going to select all of them. Okay, that's it. Now what we'll do, rather than like go from a slow crawl to normal speed, it'll just go straight away. There we go. So it looks like it's firing. Now obviously from this point here it's still in view, and it's waiting for the ship to come onto it so you can fire it. So what we're going to do is select auto key, right click it. Actually, let's go right to the beginning here. Right click it. Right. Okay. Object properties. What we want to do is bring it down to 0. Okay. Right. Now, if I just do a render, we'll see that it's actually invisible. See, it's not in view at all. It's completely invisible. But the problem is that it's going to stay invisible right through the whole animation. So what we want to do is the keyframe where it starts to move is keyframe 88. Go onto the keyframe, right click it, object properties, and bring it up to 1. Okay, now this will bring it back in view. The keyframe where it starts moving is 88. Go to the keyframe before, which is 87. Right click it, object properties, and 0 again. Okay, right. Take off your auto key. So from keyframe 87 to 88, it just appears as if it's being fired from the gun. Okay. Now, one thing you don't want to do when you're animating this is have the motion blur on, because if you have the motion blur on, it will not look good, because laser beams do not have blur. And yeah, like I say, that's basically it. Okay, so my name's Dave Jones from VideoFXUniverse.com. Please visit the site, check out the tutorials, join the forum, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.